Hi y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another monthly TBR, guys. I know it's already time for another one. I felt like I just did September's yesterday. But it is time for Spooky Season's TBR. I have the channel's mascot, or Spooky Season's mascot for the channel, if you will. I'm going to call him Stevie, unless somebody can come up with a better name, but I think Stevie the Skull works best. We like to be a little silly on this channel, not always serious. But just kind of want to show you guys what I plan on reading for the month of, October. Generally, October is a little bit of a crazy month for me because generally I try to watch nothing but horror movies in the month of October. If you saw my movies I try to plan and watch in October, you know that I have quite a few. I have more than 31 movies that I'm trying to watch this year, and that's also not including what I might feel like watching in the spare of a moment kind of thing. But let's get into it. Like I said, it is spooky season, so I try to watch, horror movies. But me and my wife are also taking a trip at the end of the month. We are flying out of state. We were going, for us, northeast, not all the way on the East Coast. We're going to the Tennessee area, Tennessee, Kentucky area, visit some family, so that'll be exciting. But I got to incorporate, driving and flights and layovers and visiting family. I got to kind of figure that into the equation as well, so that way I don't try to overplan for reading. Just because you can't go out of state to visit family and read the entire time, can you? I mean, I would like to, but I've been told that's a little rude. But again, guys, let's get into it. Like I said, it is spooky season. I try to focus mostly on horror books in the month of October. That's what I told you guys. I read most of the horror books that I was going to read this month in September. I couldn't wait. I had to get a jump start on it, and yeah, I don't want to say I'm burned out on horror books. I think I am reaching the end of the race with that, if you will. But let's get into it. So I only have a couple on the ballot for October. I'm going to continue on, like I said last week, with Stephen King's It. Again, just taking my time, enjoying it. I'm 400, almost 500 pages through this book, almost a third of the way. I'm enjoying this. I think really with this, I've come to learn if you take your time with this and don't try to rush through it, you enjoy it even more, because there's times I'm not really in the mood and I'll read a little bit, and there's times where I can't get enough and I'll stay up for 45 minutes to an hour before I go to bed and just read. So again, enjoying that, just kind of taking my time with it and whatnot. Again, not going too crazy. And then next, the last horror book on the ballot is The Angel of Indian Lake, the final book in the Stephen Graham Jones trilogy. This is going to be a bittersweet pill to swallow. I'm excited to see the conclusion of, Jade Daniels and her story. I kind of hope, maybe, depending on how this ends, I kind of hope he might go back to her at some point. So again, it's bittersweet. I love the character of Jade Daniels. I love the cast, the town of Proof Rock, Idaho. I just, again, gonna be bittersweet to say goodbye to her. But again, I'm gonna be happy to finally finish this trilogy after starting the first book 3 years ago, give or take. So again, super excited to continue on with that trilogy and hopefully knock off the goal of reading 2 trilogies this year. Next is our Sackett series read along, the Wagon Train read along. If you can't tell, I have added to the Louis L'Amour section. If you didn't notice, keep an eye out for my monthly library sale. I do title it "Could I Buy Any More Western Books?" So keep an eye out for that. But again, we are going to continue on with the Wagon Train and the Sackett series. I'm talking book 3 and book 4. We have The Warrior's Path and Jubal Sackett. Super excited to get into these and continue on with that series. Obviously Jubal Sackett is quite a bit denser than most Louis L'Amour books. Even this one is a little bit longer. But again, super excited to continue on with this. I'm obviously always looking forward to reading Louis L'Amour, but the fact that I get other people to read it with me and to kind of converse and talk about it always makes me super happy. I do have a couple more books on the ballot if I have time. This is one I wanted to pick up earlier in the year, but I just didn't get the time to, and that is Elmore Leonard's Ombre. This is, I believe, like one of the top 25 Western books of all time. This sounds very interesting to me. Elmore Leonard is somebody who I want to read more of his books. I have like five of them, I think. I read Escape from Valdez. So hopefully Ombre keeps up there with Escape from Valdez. I know I really enjoyed that. Or Escape from Five Shadows. Sorry, I was confusing two of his books. Valdez is Coming and Escape from Five Shadows. Don't ask me why I put those together. But again, Escape from Five Shadows is the one I read and I enjoyed it. So again, guys, Ombre by Elmore Leonard. And then the next one is an author I've never really even heard of. I did pick up some books. Again, watch out for the library book haul. But this is one. It is called The Tarnished Star by Lewis B. Patton. Essentially, this is a town that's been overrun by bad guys, I guess, and the sheriff's son that's been gone for a few years comes in and tries to clean it up. It sounds like it's going to be right up my alley. It sounds like some people that are a couple people maybe that have to band together against some outlaws. So maybe like Faceless might be interested in this. I know we both like that idea of strangers banding together against a greater evil, I guess is what you'd call it. So this looks like a thin little book. It's clocking in about 128 pages. So super thin, but again, really excited to dive back more into westerns and whatnot. Again, don't get me wrong, I love reading my horror books, but I'm ready to get back to my westerns. That's what I really enjoy reading is westerns, and especially trying out a couple different authors that I don't generally read. So again, guys, like I said, that is the monthly TBR for me. Hope y'all have a good one and stay safe.